Hi again, we're here with more Barbies. This is the third of our Barbie videos, and today we're going to show you Barbies that were available only in the European and Canadian markets. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Kat.
And welcome to our channel. If you haven't seen our videos before, we had a dear friend who passed away a couple of years ago, who was a huge doll collector. We bought her entire collection, and we're slowly opening boxes, going through them, and putting them up for sale. Bill's our cameraman, my husband, he says I can't keep them all. Anyway, and not all of them are my kind of doll.
Yeah, there's way too many. It's a 15-foot storage unit that is still 85-90% full still. Yeah. So yeah, there's no way we can keep them all.
But there are some really interesting pieces in here that maybe you've been looking for your collection, and that's what we're trying to do with these, is show you in the video what we have. And then we do link in the description below to the eBay store and the Etsy store, where all of the pieces from this estate are being sold. Most of these will be on eBay. We will give you the exact date and time that the listings will go live. Some may be auction format, and some may be buy it now. So let's get into some of these interesting Barbie and Ken and other family members and friends that were available, but they were only available in either the European or Canadian or
international, international market.
So the first ones we're going to show you are the Fun Time Barbie and Ken. These were out from 1973 to 1976. Barbie has the twist and turn waist. She was sold in Europe and Canada. Ken was also sold in Europe and Canada. He has blue swim trunks on, and these are originals in the original boxes. But let's first start with Barbie. Mm-hmm. As you can tell, Barbie's in really good shape inside. The acetate has turned, and there is some damage on the bottom of the box. But otherwise she looks like she's in good condition, and I believe that's all she came with. I don't think these dolls have any little catalogs or stands in them. What was hard to find was information about these, because in a lot of the collector books that they're shown, they don't show the European ones. Now the book that we used did have them in that, and I'm going to show you the book. I don't have any affiliation with the author. She does have a website, so I believe her website is also called My Vintage Barbies, and this is by Marie Royer, and it's one of the most comprehensive Barbie collector books for the early Barbies and other Mattel dolls.
Yeah, and she may have done an updated version, I don't know, because this one only goes through maybe...
This goes through the end of the 1970s,
yes.
So later dolls are not included in here, but she has information on marks on the backs of the dolls. She has information on what the dolls came with, when they were released, where they were released, all of those kind of things. So here's Barbie. Let's see if she'll twist and turn a little bit. Her twist and turny waist is a little stiff. She is missing a ponytail holder, but her hair's pretty stiff. It's not going to come out of that. And then this is Ken, and they would have come just like this without shoes. Like I said, I don't see anything that said they should have had a stand with them. I don't think they came with the stand.
Yeah, and they have the bendable legs. Again, just a little bit of a joint. You can kind of hear it clicking.
Yeah, I think that was what was fun about these dolls. We just sat there and clicked the legs back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah, so the legs, but the arms are really still the stiff.
Yeah, the arms are stiff, and they're actually, you can tell by feel that they're a different plastic. Like one's more of a hard plastic, one's more of a softer vinyl. So a couple things, like I said, these are not mint. They're very good condition, but they are not mint condition.
You can see on Ken's got some discoloration on his heels, a little bit on his leg. I think Barbie's outfit's a little bit faded in spots or something. It could just be the lighting, I can't really tell for sure.
Yeah, I can't tell either. You know, it looks like her feet are damaged, but I think that's how they would have come. Remember that Barbie was not an expensive doll. She might have been more expensive than some dolls, but again, she was fairly inexpensive. She was a toy, and so they weren't made super high quality. So sometimes, like the feet, there'll be a roughness to the toes, or sometimes there'll be a little bit of extra plastic. You can kind of see.
Yeah, that's where the plastic joint, whatever, the mechanism that makes her.
So the mechanism inside, you can see that, but
Yeah, you can see that.
again, that's not, I don't consider that a flaw. That's just how they were made. Now, Ken does have some missing paint on his one eyebrow.
Oh yeah, he had a little bit of a mishap there.
It's something scratched, and both of them, like I said, there's a lot of damage. Poor Ken's boxes
Been taped and
pretty smashed up. But again, these were not available in the American market, so
just a different, something interesting and different find if you're interested in the expanding outside of the American market. They would also be, basic dolls if you were somebody who was doing repaints, and, they'd be the good base models for that, because they are pretty, standard, nothing fancy on them.
yeah. So these are, like I said, Funtime Barbie, Funtime Ken, from the early to mid 1970s, and again, they were Europe and Canada exclusives. Try not to mess up their hair as we put them in and out. We did not handle these a lot, and I'm trying very carefully not to.
Yeah.
Especially Barbie. Ken early Ken had all molded hair. You don't have to worry about his hair, unless of course he gets paint loss.
Yeah. And then he got the fuzzy hair, which was just weird.
Oh, that was gross. Okay.
All right.
So this is
just Barbie, just your basic.
Okay. So this is the European release of Barbie. She does have a Stacy head mold, so she does have the different a different head mold than the standard Barbies. And this one is the 1978 version with the pink swimsuit. A lot of times dating them when they were available for a number of years comes down to what year they changed the outfit, or they changed something about the way the dolls were packaged, or what they came with. But if you were buying the doll in the 1970s in the European market, so say England, France, Germany, Spain, any of those things, this was the basic doll that was available on the shelf, and it's like the basic swimsuit dolls. Just came in a simple box. I would say this box is in really good shape. Barbie is in really good shape. Does she have any stains or?
She does not. The only thing I'm seeing is some of the threads on her outfit are a little bit loose. They could probably be just snipped easily. And the other thing is, underneath the plastic holding her hair in place, you can see there is a little bit, and we'll try to get a close-up of it, there is a little bit of tangling in the hair. And of course, as most of the dolls, the hair is not evenly styled. There is definitely a lot going on here with the different lengths. But that's the way they came. Yeah, this is not that somebody damaged her. It's just that they never did a really nice job with having the hair nicely styled, unless they were doing a very fancy version.
Yeah.
But for your basic play doll.
Yeah, the early dolls, they were just play dolls. They were not, even in, I don't think into the 70s, there was really a whole lot. They did become popular, and they would start putting out special editions, but they really didn't gain that popularity of collectible until probably, I would say, somewhere in the late 70s, early 80s. So this is 1978 European Barbie.
Yeah, and the box is really nice. It's very nice graphics on it. Kind of a cartoony look to it, but it's very nice. So let's slide her back in her box carefully.
I'm going to leave her out until I take pictures, and then I will carefully put her in.
All right.
Again, the less handling, the less damage to the hair. Our next up is Barbie's little sister, Skipper. This is the Party Time Skipper, and they did do a whole series of Party Time dolls, and they were, again, the European market.
And she would be, what, 8 inches compared to Barbie's 11, I think? She's 8 or 9 inches. She's definitely smaller than Barbie.
Well, yeah, Skippers are little sisters. So
Yeah.
this was released from 1977 to 1979. She does have her original dress and yellow shoes. So she's wearing them. The box is in pretty good shape. There's there's actually a sticky spot on the front, which now has my fingerprint in it. In case you want to save my fingerprint for
there
reference.
was some tape.
Yeah, there's some tape. You know, a lot of these would have had price stickers on them in places. Actually has something that was torn off the top there, but a lot of these dolls will have the original price sticker on them from the stores, and because removing them damages the boxes, you know, I'm leaving them on. Mm-hmm. So Barbie's little sister, Party Time Skipper in the little yellow dress.
And it looks like she's still strapped into the box. She may have been removed. Again, we've got, you may not be able to see it in this video. We'll try to get some pictures. But again, her hair is not even. They just kind of rooted it and let it go. And they didn't, do a whole lot of cleaning it up. But, she's a nice look. Very cute doll.
Yeah, if you have there was also, according to the back in the book, there was a Party Time Barbie and a Party Time Ken as well. So those 3 were available, and they came out, like I said, 1977 to 1979. Next up, we have some of Barbie's
little sister and her friends.
Okay, so this is again Tutti. Now in the last video we had a Tutti, and I told you that they were only out for a limited time. In 1976, they re-released Tutti for the Canadian market. And that's what these are from. These are the Canadian Tuttis, and then Tutti's little friend Chris. Tutti is blonde, and she has the yellow dress. And then Chris has the brown hair with the blue and white dress. And in the corner, it's hard to see in the picture, but the shoes, socks, and a little comb or brush are included with the doll. Mm-hmm. These are all sealed boxes. Mm-hmm. They have not been opened. They don't look like they're too, well, there's a little yellowing on the acetate, but not too much. So there were other friends too. Besides Tutti and Chris, there was a little girl named Carla and a twin brother Todd. Yeah. So these would have been available. And what's interesting in these were in the Canadian market, but they probably used some of the, in fact, I can see they added a sticker on that one.
Which says it's not available. This is kind of interesting. So we have the 2 Tuttis, they're exactly the same. But they must have come out different times or for different markets. One has just English on it. The other one this one has multilingual on it. But one of them says that Todd and Chris are not available in Canada. So it's kind of interesting, how things were released in different places of the world.
And like I said, we're not experts on Barbie.
At all.
At all.
My first Barbie was a hand-me-down from one of my teacher's children. She gave it to me in 5th grade. So that was the first Barbie I ever had.
And I think we found a couple early Barbies
at stores,
the old church sales.
The church rummage sales.
But I have no idea what happened to those. But we were not Barbie experts, and we're not collectors of Barbie. So the information is what we've been able to gather, but we all know that a lot of the information out there is not always completely accurate. So if you have more information that maybe these were available, I'm just looking at the back of this box on the Chris, and it's written in English and
looks like German
and French and probably Spanish.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
So my information was that these particular ones were available in Canada. But maybe they were also available
this one
in
might have been
Europe as well.
Yeah. So this one says Toronto. the one that has that Todd and Chris are not available, has a thing that says Toronto on the top of it. So yeah, this is definitely an interesting find. Again, they appear to be in very good condition. It does not look like there's a lot of damage coming out of the dolls, because they have not been played with, but they do have the wire armature that made them bendable. And like I said, this was the one doll, well, not the one doll, Tutti and then the Mattel Little Kittles were the dolls that I coveted as a child. And
I guess if we find little Kittles, she might want them, huh?
I just might, but we didn't have them, and I think that's kind of why. One of our older sisters did have a Tutti. She did let me play with it occasionally, so but I don't know why. I always was drawn more to the younger dolls or the smaller dolls.
Yeah, so. And these again, these were re-released in 1976. So my information is they were re-released for Canada, but that may be wrong. The boxes do have 4 languages on them, so they may have also been available in Europe.
Yeah, and they, like I said, they're sealed, new sealed in box. So these are very mint for you.
By the 70s, the boxes, instead of having this type of flap on them, the boxes would have actually were starting to be glued shut. Yeah. And these are still glued. These have never been opened.
Yeah.
All right, next up we have from 1978.
The Hawaiian Superstar?
Yeah, we'll do that one individually. Okay. So the Hawaiian Superstar Barbie was a 1978 European release. She has a 2-piece swimsuit with a matching wrap skirt, and she has a separate hula skirt. Mm-hmm. She has a green lei with flowers. She also has in the box a ukulele and some sort of windsurfing skimmer.
Yeah, she's got a windsurfer that comes with, the surfboard and the
sail.
And the sail. Yep.
Okay. So this was available for the European market only. The box is dented. It may have been opened at some point, but you can kind of see.
Yeah, she's pretty much.
You kind of see this, but the box has a big dent in the front of it.
Yeah. But she does not look like she's been removed or anything. She still has the plastic around her head.
Yeah, she's not been removed from the box, but the box does show some damage. But she is, being European release, she is a little harder to find than the American Hawaiian Barbie from the 1970s.
She looks like she's holding I guess it's supposed to be a ring on her hand, but she's got a flower on her hand. You can see on the back of the picture, but you can see it.
Yeah, some things. And, some of these dolls, again, because they've not been removed from the box, I'm not going to be removing them from the box for the pictures. So, some of the things will be hard to get, photographs of them, but knowing Janice, she bought the best that she could afford, and so again, these are, like I said, in very good condition. Most of the dolls are almost mint, but some of the boxes, of course, they did suffer damage. And then the next one we have up is another European edition as well from the same year, 1978, and this is called
Picture Pretty.
Picture Pretty Barbie. She does have the Superstar Barbie face, and what's interesting about her is she comes with a spotlight, and a camera. So she was supposedly, modeling for pictures. And I know, based on what I've seen prices on for this one, this is a hard to find complete in box. Her box is in much better condition. It does have a little wear around the tabs, but otherwise.
But yeah, it's in very, very good condition, and a little yellowing on the acetate again. And she's got her arms are bent as if she was posing. This is when they've got her,
Yeah, I don't think that she's posable. I think that she's just molded with posed.
It claims that she's posable, but it may be her legs are more posable. But her arms are definitely in the upwards, doing whatever she's doing. I don't know.
Well, she's a superstar model. This box does have actually both of these boxes do have it in both the English and the French. In the European release for Barbie Hawaiian Superstar and
Picture Pretty. Picture Pretty.
My tongue's gonna get twisted.
All right, well, we only have one more to do.
Okay, so this is the special European and Canadian only gift set of the Equestrian Barbie. Equestrian Barbie was available as just the doll, but it was also available in this gift set with the horse. You gonna try to take it out? We actually have not opened this yet. But we're gonna see if we can carefully remove it from the box so that you can
Okay,
see.
so here's our little,
Instructions for Barbie. I think it just says, yeah, how to attach the
tack.
horse tack and how to sit Barbie in her.
and you can see these have not even been taken apart from the
Yeah,
molding. You know, they're still attached to how they were molded. So you've got saddle and reins and the halter. There's Barbie's riding crop. It's very small. And Barbie here, I don't want to unwrap her. She's wrapped up underneath the horse.
Yeah.
And the horse was movable. Like he's got posable legs here. Here we go. You get his tail loose.
Not well. Okay, we'll just leave it at that because I don't want to try to take it out more. But
There we go.
so the horse's name is Dancer, and the horse does have. So there's 1, 2, 3 joints on each leg. So she's very posable.
All right, Barbie's got black riding boots. I'm not going to put them on her. She's got a wrist tag. She's got not only the bendable wrist, but her hand is molded so that she could hold the reins. Right there, so that you've got her so she can ride the horse. Bendable waist. A lot more bendable than even the twist and turn, I think.
Well, this is later. This is 1979 that these came out. So
She's got her riding cap on. She's got a little really bright neon almost shirt that she's wearing here.
yeah.
But yeah, she would be able to
So this
sit
is
and ride her
probably the
horse.
first time this box has been opened. But I wanted you to see that it was complete and that it was original. And we certainly never had a fancy horse like this.
No.
That's for sure. But this is a very nice Barbie-sized horse with a lot of posability. So between Barbie and the horse, you really could get them in a lot of positions.
Yeah, and the box is in very good condition as well.
Yeah, there's just a little wear.
Shelfware, definitely, but nothing.
Yeah, no big tears, a couple little wrinkles.
Yeah.
You know, so if you wanted, if the word mint is sometimes overused, and it's also subjective, but it's something that I would call this in brand new condition. You know, other than today, and when I take pictures, those will be the only times it's been out of the box.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't see any discoloration on Barbie. She looks
No.
to be in very good shape.
Yeah.
And it's probably a good thing that the boots were not worn, that they're separate still, because there is no discoloration on her white pants from the black boots that you could get with some of them.
Yeah.
And there's plastic underneath of her hat, so her hair shouldn't be damaged either. But yeah, she's a very interesting find, I think, you know, because she does have a lot of posability, and you get the horse with it. It's an excellent set here. So.
And again, this was only available in Europe and Canada. It was not available in the U.S. So when you're trying to find these for your collection, you know, you have to find ones that were have made it into the collectible market in the U.S. Now, Barbie was mass produced, even the early ones. I don't know the numbers. I don't know that anyone kept numbers. So it's not like there's These aren't one-of-a-kind things, they aren't limited edition things, but they are hard to find, and the better the condition, the harder it is to find. And that's what we have here, extremely nice condition, like I said. Like your toys came with when the boys were having all the model, the model car kits, everything was extruded, the plastic was extruded onto these what are called trees. And then when you got the toy, you would take them and remove the pieces from the tree, and the trees would be thrown away. Well, this one, obviously, you can see it's still attached. The pieces have not been removed. So
yeah, there's nothing missing in this set here.
So I think we're just going to leave, again, her out and the horse out until I get the pictures done. So that is the last of our Barbie videos for now. There will be more
Barbies, yeah.
There will be more to come as we find new things in the collection.
I know we have come across a lot of the late 90s Fashion Avenue fashions. Some of those will be going up at some point. We haven't found a lot of the vintage fashions.
But I bet there are
I'm looking forward to seeing if any of those show up. But we definitely have found a lot of the 1990s later Barbies. So there'll be definitely more Barbies showing up in the future, but this is the last of the ones that we pulled out from one really big box that was out there. So we wanted to kind of group these videos together. The next video will probably be something else. We don't even know what yet.
We don't know yet. We've got these to deal with, so we haven't pulled any more boxes out of the storage unit. There's just a lot in there, and maybe for one of the upcoming videos we'll give you an updated look at the storage unit. Just take a photograph the next time we're over there. There's Cabbage Patch dolls, there are American items, there are of course Barbies all the way up to the modern era. There are
boxes of Barbies that are loose and probably not original fashions. Probably there's some that we know came from conventions and they were dressed for whatever the convention or the Barbie show was. So that there's
some handmade outfits.
Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff with the Barbies, and then of course there's tons of BJDs, Tonner, and
lots of Tonner,
and Jean doll.
The Jean, any of the fashion dolls. She was really into the fashion dolls, but again, she was into the Cabbage Patch dolls and the American Girl dolls because she sewed clothing for them, and so she would make and sell the clothing for those. So we have found some Cabbage Patch dolls in their original boxes, brand new.
And some of the Cabbage Patch, whatever the critters were,
there's a Kusa in there.
That's
somewhere.
it. Yeah, the Kusas. I couldn't remember the name.
So
of it.
there are some currently listed. There will be more listed as we dig them out. Again, just it's all doll related, but just box upon box upon box, and that we'll pull a box out, see what's in it. If it's an interesting piece or collection, we'll definitely do a video on them. Other things like the outfits, we're probably not going to do a video on the outfits unless you'd really like one. But we do list those, and those are listed as buy it now. Again, most of the dolls in this video will be listed on eBay. They will probably be in an auction format. And the date and the time of the listing will be in the description, as well as the link to the eBay store and my Etsy store, where some other interesting vintage toy and doll items are put on sale. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up. If you would like to see more, do subscribe and push the notification bell so you know when another video has been posted. We're so glad you've joined us. Leave us a comment, concern, question, whatever.
Yeah.
We're happy to hear from you.
Yep.
And that's it for today. We'll see you soon.
All right. Bye.